So, some information came out recently in Michigan about when they appealed the helmet law and got rid of it back in April of last year. It's been almost a year now. And was it April? It seems like it was later than that. Anyways, it's been roughly almost a year. And so they had some statistics out on injury rates and death rates, and apparently not wearing your helmet causes a lot more death. Who knew? Basically what they're saying is before the law was retracted and before it was changed, 5 people died who were not wearing them, the ones that were trying to make a point by not wearing their helmets. 5 people died during that year. And since they changed it within a 7-month period, mind you, not a 12-month period, within 7 months. And remember, we have winter here. It's Michigan, so you don't see a lot of riders out for the last few months. But anyways, my understanding is 55 people who were not wearing helmets died, and my math says that's an 1,100% increase from the 5 people. But the overall rating says 18%, average of 18% higher deaths and fatalities. That's the same thing. 18% of deaths, fatalities, and injuries of a rise. So 18% more than previous years. And the problem's not really so much the ones who are dying, but the ones who are being injured or aren't wearing their helmets. They're saying that it costs approximately $11,000 more to care for them on average than a person who is wearing a helmet of a DOT or Snell quality. Now, the problem being with this are that the insurance companies for these people riding these bikes doesn't cover that fully, and they usually don't have enough insurance to cover it themselves. Therefore, if you live here in Michigan, you, as the taxpayer, are paying for these people who have been seriously injured and had brain damage or something on a motorcycle because they weren't wearing a helmet. Now, I know coming from me, this may seem odd, because I used to be a person who would say, piss on the helmet. I didn't always wear one, but over the last year, 9 months or so, when they got rid of the law, I went without it for a while, and then suddenly one day I woke up, more or less to say, and for a better choice of words, went, what am I doing? Do I really want to take the chance of dying in my 30s because I wasn't wearing a helmet? I mean, there's always a chance I could die either way, but significantly, the presence of a helmet is going to make that number higher, that I will survive, and survive without any permanent damage to the brain. Now, when I started thinking more about that, I had to stop being selfish, because most of the time I said, well, I don't want to wear a helmet because it's my right. It feels better not wearing it. Blah, blah, blah. All the stupid shit you tell yourself or tell other people. But you really got to start thinking about it as the family members that you yourself have that have to deal with the problem after you either die or are seriously injured with a head injury. Not to mention head injuries, or brain injuries, I guess I should say, after they heal, so you don't have any cuts or abrasions or anything like that. That's something that can't be seen. So, you could run into a total dick and go, man, he's a prick, and not know that this gentleman may have a head injury, which could have been caused by a bike accident or a number of other things, but still, it's the on-scene thing. You don't realize that he's not purposely doing it. It's brain damage. It's something that has caused him to act in this way. It's not probably, or she, is not probably the way they originally were. It's a cause of the injury. And that's a disability that you can't see. That's one you do not know about until you hear the story or read about it or know from some other third party that this has happened. So basically, I went from a half helmet to no helmet. Well, originally I went from a full face helmet to a half helmet to no helmet, back to a full face modular setup now. And I paid more money for a helmet that fits my head better, and I no longer get headaches, which is why I didn't wear the helmet to begin with when I had the choice. I got headaches. I had to buy it bigger to get rid of the headaches, and that made the helmet unsafe. So I got this Nolan, and it's much safer. I love the way it feels and fits. I don't get headaches. It's great in rain and colder wind like today. It's 60 degrees, but on a bike that's still chilly on the face, and I love it. So I gotta say, maybe these people who don't wear a helmet for whatever reason, they say they don't wear it, and there's always some reason. It may not be a sound reason, but they still have a reason. You know, they always tell you, well, people can break their necks by wearing a helmet. You know, there's proof of that. And, well, maybe people have had it happen, but just so you know, that person who broke their neck, maybe wearing that helmet, wasn't wearing the proper fit helmet for them. And that's how they killed themselves or broke their neck. You know, even seatbelts in cars don't always save the person, but they help. Maybe the helmet's not always going to save you, but it gives you a fighting chance, a hell of a lot more of a chance of making it with the helmet than there is without. And that's all I'm trying to say. And it's still a person's right, but make sure you carry enough insurance to cover it. You're right, because when your rights start pinching pennies out of my pocket, that's a problem. And that's all really I have to say about it. So, I will talk to you cats later. Bye-bye.